We have our first winter storm of the season for some. Figured I would cut a quick video here. Whether anybody watches it, I guess we'll find out. But it warrants a video because it's actually going to be a very impressive snowstorm, guys, for areas of, I would say, especially interior Massachusetts from New Hampshire up into Maine. It already looks very impressive on the satellite imagery. There's our northern disturbance up here. Here's our storm developing down here. And this thing is just going to completely bomb out over the Gulf of Maine. So by the time we get to early tomorrow morning, rain breaks out everywhere at first. So it's going to be raining even up in Massachusetts. But when the storm really starts to wind up, by the time we get to, say, mid-morning, and look, this is a 989 millibar low, it's going to start creating its own cold air. So basically, it's going to pull cold air in from the north, because the problem we're having here is there is no cold air really ahead of this storm. It's extremely marginal. But when you get storms strong enough, and this is certainly going to be strong, the storm starts to create its own air. And you can see this thing just keep completely bombs out by tomorrow afternoon. Now, the areas down here, you're not going to get high accumulations, in my opinion. You got to be really interior Connecticut, northwestern hills and mountains, into Massachusetts, up into New Hampshire, and especially Maine. I mean, look at this baby bomb out tomorrow, 977 low at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. I mean, this is where you're going to see 2-inch plus an hour snowfall rates and high winds. This is going to be an all-out blizzard up here tomorrow. Major snowstorm. I want to emphasize that for some of these areas. But it is a relatively quick hitter, so it's out of here by late tomorrow night. It'll linger up in Maine through the wee hours of Sunday morning. When it's all said and done, here's the forecast I had. I'll keep it. It's from 1 o'clock. 3 to 5 inches, maybe a bonus amount here in northwestern Connecticut. Maybe a few flakes in northwestern Jersey in a higher terrain late tomorrow morning as it pulls out. 6 to 12, and then 10 to 15 up in the mountains of New Hampshire into Maine. I think that's a very good bet right now. And it all comes down to these two disturbances. So here's our southern disturbance. Here's our northern disturbance. As the northern disturbance catches the southern disturbance, that's where the storm really bombs out and pulls in that cold air. And you can see the cold air start to get pulled in here at 5,000 feet in the atmosphere by tomorrow afternoon. Unfortunately, the storm starts to pull out of New Jersey, and it might be a little too late. So that's it for now. Enjoy the storm for the folks who are getting it. Again, it's a major one, and I think the pattern's loaded coming down the pike, so we'll see what happens.